piping. One of the hardest skills to acquire in Elastomania. Not only does it require an insane amount of skill, but also lightning fast reflexes, a feeling for the bike and the physics like none other, but perhaps most importantly of all, an unwavering ability to concentrate. Because this is not your average pipe, this is the World Cup where everything's at stake, and the level is an enormous giant marathon of a pipe level. So in this video we will be watching several attempts at finishing this mammoth of a level, making it a little bit further for each replay, until we get to that winning run in the end, a mind-blowing replay and an insane achievement. So welcome to the Planetarium, level by Barry P. So let's see which player will start us off in this marathon of a level. Who will be the first to carry the baton? It looks like it will be Hogge, who will take us to 6 apples. One of the newer players in the scene, we have him here, and I think this is the first time we watch him in this cup as well. Doing very well here in the first pipe, and then you have this uphill to get into the curved pipe, which is the second one. And I don't think I mentioned it, this level has 70 apples, so we have quite a ways to go. He's grabbing 2 apples, 3 apples. The piping is looking very clean so far, actually. Very impressed here by Hogge. And what you want to do is keep the head as centered as possible in the pipe, so you don't hit the ground, don't hit the ceiling. And doing really well so far. Very clean run here. This apple you kind of get for free, it's not in the middle of a pipe, but he is at 5, so we will only be getting 1 more apple here. Kicking off from the spaceship, or from the space shuttle, and getting here, oh. So just barely getting that 6th apple, but in the end, a little bit too much gassing in the ceiling, and the head just gets too close. But good thing we have Chauncey here with 10 apples to take over, getting the kick from the space shuttle, and getting a little bit slower up, but using a nice brake on the uphill there to get up. And ooh, dangerously close with the head towards the ground, but he makes it through, and still very close. I'm panicking a little bit, but very nice. Oh, goes on top of this polygon. You can actually use it to keep your wheel down if you have too much speed. But Chauncey is taking it slow. I think that's a really good idea, actually, when you're trying a level like this and just want to make it as far as possible. Let's see, comes in for the straight downhill pipe here. Just piping straight down can be harder than anything, but it uses like a just slight touch of gas, which is very nice to keep it controlled. And coming up here for Venus, the second planet, and grabs this apple, apple number 9. Just 1 more to go. Let's see how it will end. I think he has too little speed here, actually, to make it up. Yeah, he's trying to uphill a little bit, but realizes he has too little speed. And it was actually one thing we noticed when we were playing this level. More speed was generally actually almost easier in many places, because going too slow, I guess you just spend more time inside the pipes, and you get, you start to hesitate, and that just never ends well. So full commit, full speed was usually the better way to go. And it looks like, yeah, doesn't make it up again. I will just speed it up. Oh, interesting style of getting up here. But let's see if he has enough speed coming again here. Nice push from Venus. That's how you want to do it. Pushing down for the uphill. He has more speed, but ooh, loses a little bit of grip. Not enough speed again. Let's see. And yeah, this is the case. Once you have made it far in a pipe, like further than you usually come, then you just keep going. It doesn't matter if it takes more time. Oof. He just gets that one last apple, but then your adrenaline is pumping, you made it further than you usually go, and again, a little bit too much gassing in the ceiling here, but he corrects with it, he pushes down, but pushes down too hard, not counter-gassing in the ceiling, but he brakes instead, and that is his demise. And the next player to take the baton is Cloudstrife, not 15 but 16 apples actually. Let's see here, more commit here on the Venus push, so we will have more than enough speed to make it up here. And let's see what comes after the place where Chauncey died. Here's apple number 10. Continuing out here, you had to use a little bit of pushing, a little bit of like normal tricks for an Elastomania level, I guess, to make it your way through. Nice push here to get up in and a lot of gas in the ceiling. And going slow here before the killer wall. Here you had to brake a little bit and go a little bit slower. So very well handled. Again, if you just touch the killer with the wheels or with the head, your run is over. But this is the only place with killers like that. But coming down here, and this place was a little bit tricky. You had to push and get nice rotation into this wall here. And very beautifully done. Coming down for the brick polygon here. And 13 apples, he will make it to 16. Using the spike here to get into a hang. Very nicely done. And then just keep your grip, keep gassing, and swing up all the way into this top pipe. And ooh, doesn't make it. Doesn't make it into the pipe. But can you save this run? Can you actually come back? He's looking, I guess, at the map and realizes he can go the bottom route here instead. You basically just have to make your way around this stone one polygon. So he gets the 15th apple here, Just one more apple to go before he meets his end. Let's see how it happens. He comes down here for the push, and now you have to make your way all the way out to the left. It's just a straight pipe. But does he miss it? No, he does. Oh yeah, he does miss. There is one more apple out to the left, but I guess it doesn't matter. He will come down here, and he will get close to the Earth section, but so far still in Venus. Maybe he realizes his mistake that he missed an apple, or yeah, he just goes slow to pipe here, grabs that 16th apple, comes into Earth, which I think was one of the harder sections of the map, actually. Oh, and that is unfortunate. Maybe a little bit too preoccupied on where to go next than actually playing, and then all it just takes is one momentary lapse of judgment, and think you're over-rotating a little bit too much, counter-vaulting, and then you hit your head. But fear not, because we do have Moon Jelly, who comes in at 20 apples, and he will also be going up here to the left to grab this one apple that Cloudstrife missed. But yeah, not much of a deviation here, but you have to grab all the apples if you actually intend to finish the level. But sometimes it could be tactical to leave them out if you just want to make it as far as possible. But coming in here for the Earth section, he will be grabbing the 17th apple here. Nice push from the Earth polygon straight into this like slightly curved pipe here. And here you have to time your vault really nicely to get a push here. He just barely gets it, but he does make it up above this uphill here and comes in for probably one of the trickier sections of the level. First is jump straight on here, very close with the head towards the pipe here, as you can tell, but he manages to like vault and counter gas very nicely. Gets a bit caught here on the triangle, but makes it in here to the big triangle and for a stick here. Very nice. Gets the 19th apple. Just one more to go, and maybe one of the harder corners in the level here. You have to break, and so nicely done. He gets the 20th apple. Very, very nice turn there in the corner. But yeah, the second corner also very hard. Just so many very difficult corners in a row. Very nice break here with Vault to get that wheel inside the pipe and avoiding the head from that corner. So super well done in that turn. But this turn as well was very hard. You had to jump up here, but you're not getting any grip with the front wheel, and just too late with the Vault and hits his head. And the next player will be a teammate of mine. Elrond coming in here in such a smooth and fast corner, actually. Very nicely done by Elrond here, and does manage to avoid that small triangle as well. The Earth section being like distinct with these triangles, the brick triangles everywhere that you have to dodge or use or stick or swing by, as you will see coming up here. And now you're entering kind of a high-speed section of the level as well, using this one here to swing back into the next pipe. And here you have to grab a lot of momentum, because not only do you enter like very high uphill here, but you have to do some upside down piping, which is one of the harder pipings to do, I think. And coming in here for the upside down piping all the way up, but a little bit rocky. And the upside down pipe marks the end of Elrond's run. He had a good amount of speed coming into it here, but piping upside down just gets so tricky because gravity acts kind of the opposite way than you're used to. And you can tell the head immediately starts rocking back and forth here, and he comes close to hitting the left wall. He overcompensates by vaulting and gassing towards the right wall, and it's just too much, too fast, and he's not able to compensate back. He does grab that last apple, but it comes at a cost, and he hits his head. But in comes Orc to collect the following 6 apples up to 30. Let's see, he does use the ceiling here to push down, and then comes in for the upside down piping. A little bit more stable here. Coming in, keeping the head in the center, and just barely avoids that corner. Corners are never easy to do either. Coming down here into Mars. And jumping up into this section was you had to time that jump very well so you don't hit the wall. And coming up here for another kind of high speed section and another very tricky corner here. It's easy to overcompensate or undercompensate in these corners. And he just barely avoids the head here, as you can tell. Almost an undercompensation. But coming in here, and here you had 2 choices, either keep going forward or yeah, just grab the apple and come back. He is at 27, he has 3 more to go. Let's see, coming in, it was a little bit faster if you could keep going, but you had to do a high jump and commit a little bit more. Nicely done here, going like kind of slowly. Maybe this was the first time he came this far. Your adrenaline is starting to pump a little bit. Orc though was complaining that there was too many non-piping sections in this level. So let's see if it was one of those sections that will kill him. But coming in here with 28, jumping up for the 29th apple here. And will he make it to Jupiter? I don't think so. Coming in for the pipe for the hang. And now you just have a very long but very thin pipe here coming down. He grabs the 30th apple and comes into one of the trickier turns in the level, actually. Here I died many times, and so does Orc. 5 minutes into his run, you know the adrenaline is flowing and your heart is beating. And yeah, just a little bit too little gas here, not able to compensate for the tiny corner, and just hits his chin. And in 34th place with 34 apples, we have a very welcome surprise. It's TL, the legendary level maker, and he does make it in, and very nice correction here. Turning to gas the opposite way, but vaulting to just barely avoid that corner. Comes in here for the roundabout, grabs this apple, and now has to come all the way back. And exiting this pipe was basically as hard as entering it. So this section killed a lot of runs as well, right before Jupiter. But TL clears it very nicely and comes in here for the giant gas planet. And gets very quickly and nicely into this hang here around Jupiter. And swings up, gets a good amount of gas here in the ceiling actually. And comes in for a very kind of like a slalom section of the level. Very short but tight and curvy pipes here. And also some hangs to swing around. He grabs actually his last apple here. So somewhere here he will die. Oh, and he hits... Oh, a very nice run by TL. Also 5 minutes into his run, as you can tell. But in these swings, you had to just swing barely enough. But he swings a little bit too high, which makes his back wheel just touch this corner a little bit. That cancels all... It cancels all of his rotation, and then he just doesn't have enough rotation to clear the head. He tries with a vault with gas in the ceiling, but it's not enough, and the wheel hits. But in 29th place, we have one of the most influential community members in the history of Elastomania. It is Kopaka with a very methodical run. You can tell he's at 7 minutes here instead of the 5 that TL was at. He's taking it slow, but he's making it far. Swings in here, and a nice use of brake there to cancel the rotation and get into that pipe. And going slow here as well to grab this 35th apple. And then coming down here. And here is a quite easy section. You just have to drive down here and get the apple. Just don't compress your wheel down here in the corner too much, because that might allow you to hit your head on the wall. But Kopaka taking it slow here, getting into the pipe. Nice brake, nice control here. And handling the corner there easily. Coming in for the next corner pipe with a little bit of uphill beforehand. He's at 37 apples. And we'll keep going to 41. And this part was actually very tricky. It's not really a pipe, but you had to time your auto vault perfectly, or maybe go slow here. But Kopaka does... Okay, dangerous way to do it with a dangerous compression there, but he is able to counter the rotation and not hit his head. With 38 apples, he comes in here for a very wide pipe actually, but then you just go into this loop. And then here you have to build some momentum, but not maybe too much speed, because the corner coming up is very hard to do, and with too much speed it is actually this was one of the places where I had to like slow down when I was playing this level. But Kopaka maybe slowed down a little bit too much. You have to make it all the way up, and you can tell this is Kopaka's first time coming this far. He was like pausing at Jupiter, looking at the map, I think, and that just that will increase your adrenaline and the pressure even more when it's the first time you make it really far. So coming in here and clears this corner very nicely. 39 apples, 40 apples. He has one more to go. We don't know how his run will end, but it's been a very nice run so far. Coming down here to a beautiful Saturn, using the ring here to push up into the loop. And here also comes one of the harder curved pipes in this entire level. And curved pipes are never easy. Kopaka coming in here slow and using... Curved pipes are never easy because you have to gas so much more on the outside and on the inside. So it gets very hard to compensate when you get a wrong lean. And Kopaka comes in here, he hesitates a little bit, and then just gasses a little bit too much on the inside here, and it goes south so quickly, even with the counter vault. He tries to counter gas as well, but it's not enough, and he ends up hitting his head straight into Saturn. And grabbing the baton from Kopaka is Monkey coming down here towards Saturn. And again, pushing out from the ring into this loop, grabbing this apple below. And then he will come in for the curved pipe. And Monkey will make it to 45 apples. Let's see how he handles. He goes slow as well. You have to like just prepare yourself before you enter the pipe. And nice countervaulting there to get straight in, landing on the ring and coming into the loop. And keeping a lot of the momentum and a lot of the speed here throughout the curved sections of Saturn. And coming in here for the 44th apple. Very nicely done, and curved pipes are always really hard. He grabs 45th apple, comes in here, up, and it's too much. And oftentimes what will kill you is the entrance to or the exit from a pipe. And in this case, he comes here and he uses an auto vault to push, and that just gives him a little bit too much rotation. And with the gassing in the ceiling here as well, you have to turn, you have to compensate. and he does so. He does turn to gas in the floor, but it's too late. And taking us to 52 apples will be Tei or Tej or Tej. Not sure how to pronounce your name, but for me it will be Tei because I'm Swedish. But he comes up here, clears the Saturn curves very nicely, but the entire Saturn section is full of curves, and I don't know, to me curvy pipes are among the hardest ones to do. But he clears them here slowly and comes in for the fifth apple, and then coming in, and maybe wisely done here, hesitating a little bit, coming in to grab the correct amount of speed here for the next section, not going in full speed like we saw Monkey doing, and comes in here and just very close with the head in the ceiling instead, but nicely compensated, and comes in here for a very tricky section, kind of uphill curved pipes, never easy to do, always easy to overcompensate, but it does it very nicely, very slowly and methodically, coming in here for the 48th apple and grabs it here, and now comes in for a long jump that you have to do to clear this gap. If you fail to do this long jump, you basically couldn't get up here anymore. Or actually, can you? I think I, like on one of my first playthroughs when I got here, I failed this jump and I couldn't make it up. There's just one more apple above you here. But maybe he just, okay, let's see. Maybe he will end up skipping that apple, or maybe he will make it all the way up there. Let's see, he comes back here. Can he get enough speed to do this high jump? I don't think he can, no. So yeah, there is one more apple, but again, if you're just going for an amount of apples, you don't need to grab them all, right? So, oh wait, can he actually come up from down here? I don't think I ever tried that myself. Let's see, pushing down here. Oh yeah, that might actually work. He has a lot of speed, but I don't think it will be enough speed to make it up to this apple above him. Or maybe it will be, maybe just barely. He comes in for a hang, and will he? He might be able to swing up using that hang actually. So close with the chin. I would just skip this apple in this case. I would just, but he does it very nicely, beautifully done. Very nice technique there to get back up and actually make it to this 49th apple. Just 3 more to go, but beautifully done and nice execution and like thinking on the fly here by Tei. Coming down here, he's finished with Saturn, and we all know which planet comes next after that. It is Uranus, or should I say Uranus. It comes in here, and these high-speed pipes were very hard. All of a sudden, you're met with these like very sharp corners after the Saturn curves. Comes in for apple number 52, and oof, that hurts to watch. And again, I'm not joking when I say like the adrenaline is pumping, the heart is pumping. He's 10 minutes into a run of full-on concentration. And imagine how many runs he had before where he died earlier. So making it farther than you ever have before, you're not sure what's coming. And this section was actually easier maybe if you went full speed, but you don't dare to do that on your first playthrough. He has a little bit too little speed, and he doesn't clear the head enough here. He doesn't have the height, and yeah. But it wouldn't have mattered if Tei had made it further, because in the very next position, Andre takes us from 52 apples to 61. And he actually goes slow here, but maybe, yeah, he goes slow enough to do another version here, and very nice braking here, and not losing grip and hitting your head, but slow and methodical. He's 12 minutes into his run here, coming in and coming for the uphill parts. This is the Uranus part. It's like a lot of uphills with these kind of extra hangs and stuff, and very slow uphill piping. In this case, I think going slow actually just makes it harder because you're just spending more time inside the pipe. But very nice controlled gas here in the ceiling. 53 apples coming in for the next section. This corner here was very hard to do with high speed because it's very fast corner. It hits you very quickly. Coming in for this kind of gap and goes straight in for the next pipe here. Nicely done. And yeah, Andre does take his time. He goes very slow and methodical all the way throughout. And I guess it is a winning concept. I mean, he does get to 61 apples in this level. And comes in here for the next corner. He manages to get in, oof, and nice. I think he had to brake there actually, otherwise he would have hit his head. So very nicely done. And yeah, again, piping slowly can sometimes be much harder than piping fast. He's at 55 apples. He will come in here for this kind of section. And this stick that sticks down there could kill some runs as well if you weren't ready for it. Comes in here for the next apple. And now he comes into a very hard section actually. It's kind of like a zigzaggy section. That the pipes themselves weren't that hard, but exiting the pipes, you had to do it well so you could enter the next one, in this case here. So he comes in for the first one and he does exit, oof, and he kicks away that you had to do, but he's so close to hit his head there, but he avoids it and he gets a nice stick here on the corner to exit the next pipe. Oof, nice braking, nice control here. Probably gathering his nerves after that. He was very hard actually or he was very close to maybe, you know, hitting that corner incorrectly and just ending the run right there. So collect your thoughts, gather some more momentum, come down here and grab the 60th apple. And now coming in towards Neptune. He will be grabbing this last Uranus apple, but he won't make it to Neptune. So let's see what happens. He grabs this one. Here you had to gain a lot of speed actually. You had to clear this gap, and here you had to preserve your momentum. You can't do the slow, controlled, measured style that Andre has been doing so far. But he is doing a good job here. He is getting a lot of speed. He comes in for this corner here, and will he make it through? Ooh, he hesitates. But it's not over. You can go back and you can get more speed. So this is what he will do. He will come back all the way here. And I think maybe you have to go even a little bit further to get enough speed. Let's see, comes up here. For this, you have to jump so you can get contact here with the next part of the loop. And comes in here for the turn, and he does he commit? Yes, he will. He gets in, and this is a very... 15 minutes into his run, his slow and methodical playing style had taken him this far, all the way to 61 apples. But in the end, maybe he hesitated just a little bit too much. Losing all his momentum here and starting from zero is always hard to do. You don't know how the bike will behave. And in this case, the gravity was just a little bit too much, and the gassing in the ceiling couldn't compensate. And the closest we have to 65 apples is 63, and Mikkel will take us there. Let's see the entry, more speed, more determination. He gets in, he gets a 62nd apple, and here you have to push, and it does easily make it into this middle pipe, which was actually very, very hard to do. He made it look so easy. Comes in here for the 63rd apple, and let's see, have to be able to enter here. Oof, I thought he would die, but he didn't. But let's see, can he make his way up here? Oh, is he actually losing because he gets stuck here? He could go back and just try to gather speed again, right? Yeah, so he will come back here. Yeah, you just lose focus for 1 second, and that's what happens. So close, but still so far. But nobody got closer than Roope, who ends up with 69 out of 70 apples. Let's see, he comes in here, and then he doesn't go for the middle pipe here, but he also doesn't make it up. It is kind of the Mikkel situation here again. Again, that jump, Mikkel made it look easy into the middle pipe, but it was so hard actually to get out there. You could go for the top pipe instead. That was a little bit easier, but it was also slower. But I guess in this case, if you just want to make it as far as possible, it doesn't really matter. But I guess for all of these players, they have a chance to finish the level, so they would maybe go for the faster style as well. Let's see Roope's second attempt here, coming in here for the pipe. Have to build a lot of speed, and this pipe is more tight than the other ones. Let's see, he will go for maybe the top one. No, he doesn't. So he doesn't go for the middle or the pipe here, and it looks like he is continuing. He missed the apple. He missed the 63rd apple. Is that how he's gonna get 69 and not finish? That is so unfortunate to see, and it doesn't look like he knows, or maybe he just chooses not to go for that apple. But he comes in here. He is still it's in the end of the Neptune section. He will be making it to Pluto here, but he has no chance of getting back to get that apple that he missed, that we saw Mikkel getting as his last one. And he comes out here, and he does make it to Pluto. So let's see, 65 apples in, 66 apples. Here you have it. Is it a planet? Is it a dwarf planet? We don't know, but it is included here in the planetarium at least. He comes in for Pluto, which is just a section of 90-degree turns and corners, and you have to brake, get in with all of Alt here, brake, do the corner, brake, do the corner. Really, like once you're in here, 11 minutes into his run, and you have to just keep your focus, not lose your focus, not do any mistakes. It's really hard coming in here. Don't get stuck on that polygon. I did once, and then I hit the killer instead. Coming in here for the last few turns of this level. He's 11.5 minutes into his run. It's been a really smooth run so far. Very well optimized. You can tell he played the level many times to get here. Getting this 68th apple, swinging in here for actually the last pipe of the level, but he's still missing one apple, so he cannot finish the level. So coming in here, grabbing the actually last apple of the level, but not the last one for Roope. He still has that one missing, but coming in here full speed for the end and gets the flower. And unfortunately for Roope, he thought he finished the level, he thought he grabbed all the apples, but once he now, after the results, checked his replay, he realized he missed it, but he finished with the apple bug or hooked bug, which happens when you grab an apple at the same time with both wheels. The automatic results in the cup are smart enough to detect when an apple bug happens, but the game itself is still the same code as it's always been, so the game thinks you grab 2 apples when in fact you only grabbed 1, and Roope, just like the game, thought he had grabbed all the apples as well, and he never even realized that apple out to the left that Mikkel grabbed even existed. But from Roope's mistake and 69 apples, we do get to our first finisher, and it is Krycek. And Krycek is a very old school player who hasn't played, I haven't seen him in basically years, I think. And he just comes back and manages a finish just below 13 minutes in this marathon pipe level. Huge congrats to Krycek and our first finisher in 17th place. And moving down from 17th, we have Lompe in 16th, 12:42, improving almost 20 seconds. We have Sierra, who made the previous World Cup pipe level, which was also a long marathon one. And Sierra improves 2 minutes on Lompe's time, 10:44. And after some copy-paste errors, in 14th place, Ducraft, 10:28. Really, really nicely done by Ducraft. And then coming into 13th place, we have some Ramon spam, but then we have Immo, 10:20. We have Aren Choke, 10:11. Improving so much for each finish here. Let's see. 11th place. Oh yeah, 11th place actually came before. It was Tomator. Tomator, 11th place. 10:05. So close to 9 minutes. And remember how people were doing like 14, 15 minutes and not even finishing the level. So doing these times in a level like this is really, really impressive. We have Mira in 10th place. 9:51. Breaking that 10-minute barrier and finishing the entire level. Sveiner, a great piper, 9:44, improving still like 7 seconds or something. Great stuff here. We have me coming in at 9:36.52, because in 7th place we have AKB coming in at 9:36.36. AKB got his time before, then I managed my time, and I felt like it was a good place to stop, because AKB still has a shot of making even top 3 in the entire cup. So we want to maximize his points in EA, and by getting right behind him, I can knock down everyone else who's contending for those top spots, while ensuring that AKB gets maximum points in this event. But from AKB's 9:36, we get into 6th place, where we have Stefan. Stefan does 9:32, 4 full seconds faster than AKB. Now we are getting into these like Hoyle times. We have Smibu, 9:32.11, improving just half a second on Stefan's time. This is really insane stuff. Once you get to this level, these people have multiple finishes and they go for it every single run. So the times will be tighter, but still, half a second in a 10-minute long level. We have J-Blaze improving, 5 seconds on Smibu's time. And J-Blaze, known for being a great piper, is the first one to break that 9.5-minute limit. But now, the top 3. In 3rd place, we have Barry P, the creator of the level and a great piper himself. 9:16. Improving 10 seconds on J-Blaze's time. It is just mind-bogglingly fast and a well-deserved 3rd place for the creator of this challenging and beautiful level, Barry P. But now we have just 2 contenders remaining. One of them is the best piper in the world. And I can say that with confidence because there are some things in this game when it comes to pipes that only Audi can do. And on the other hand, we have Zero. Arguably the best overall player in the game right now. His superpower is that he's just so good at any aspect of the game. So in the end, the battle is between the world's best piper and the current world's best player. And they are also the top 2 in this cup overall. So in 2nd place, we have Audi. 9:05, improving a full 10 more seconds on Barry P's time. An incredible showing by Audi, but that means that in first place we have Zero, and Zero comes in at 8 minutes 53 seconds. What the hell? 8 minutes in this level. Zero is just on a complete another level. This finish, there's just no words to describe this time. So let's see from start to finish and just rejoice in the inhuman skills that Zero possesses. And here we have him in the cactus shirt, the world's currently best player in the game. Zero will show us how to pipe like a master. Coming in here, going low into the corners, cutting all the distance you can by clearing the corners as low as you can. Coming in here, nice gassing in the ceiling, nice gassing everywhere you can, nice push there from the wall, good wheel pressure to keep your momentum, and already it's just going so fast. Remember those early replays that we saw in the very beginning and see how smoothly he clears these corners and the curves. Good swing in here. Will he go for the full loop? Will he turn? Of course he goes for a small bounce, saving probably like a second on doing that bounce instead of going around the full loop. Nice push in here, and again just these smooth clearings of the corners. So low to get that in there and getting the full amount of gas. It's so nicely done by Zero. I will try to not stop too much when watching these replays. But yeah, some things you just want to see again. Coming in here for the... Will he even bounce in the ceiling here? No bounce, but he gets a good amount of gas in the ceiling straight down into this loop. Going full speed here, out for the Venus push. Let's see, jumps up here, gets a good... Not pushing down, but gets straight down into the slope here. And nice, gets full gas in the uphill here as well. So smooth everywhere, just full gassing everywhere in the ceiling, on the ground, getting a nice push, getting a nice push. Coming in here. And oh nice, not flipping in here, but instead just gassing straight in. I guess that was a little bit faster because to flip you had to slow down. Nice stick there to just get this apple and not hit the killers. You don't have to go slow as long as you brake at the very last second. Getting in here and doing a full push and coming in here for the spike and gonna be utilizing this entire spike to just turn all that momentum back here. Coming in for the swing to the top. Remember the first replay that we saw also that didn't make it all the way up to the top here. Zero does it easily, comes around and using all this speed, coming back. And again here, you have to go out all the way to the left here to grab this apple. We'll even go for a bounce. No bounce, but a good amount of gas there coming out of the stick to come in for the pipe. Oh, a nice like forceful push there into the loop. And coming in, oh, and he doesn't go for a flip. Oh, wow, that's so... I thought for sure you had to go for a flip here, but he goes low. He gets in and yeah, he doesn't get stuck on the earth or anything. He just goes straight in for that pipe. Coming in here and yeah, good amount of push from that spike so you can go all the way in the ceiling here. Gas around in the loop, gas around all the way down. And doesn't get stuck here on the small triangles either. Comes straight in, nice stick here. Let's see how he handles these corners that killed so many runs. Good, just very, very controlled braking there in the corner to get into that section. And yeah, just so much control. He makes it look so easy, but I hope that by watching the replays before, you can understand how actually hard it is to keep your balance in these pipes. He makes it look easy, but it's so hard to do. Good swing coming in here for the uphill section. And here there's not much you can do to like improve your speed. Let's see if he goes for the ceiling or if he just goes for a wall push. He does use the ceiling here to push down. Good brake push to get even a little bit more speed here. And nice push, like even those tiny like push there to get more leftwards momentum. Saving speed or increasing your speed anywhere you can. Pushing away from the Mars there, from the Mars sign. Getting in here and yeah, I will just like enjoy this replay a bit. I don't need to commentate much, like the replay speaks for itself. Zero is just on another level, and here again you could go far instead of coming back, and Zero does so, going all the way around, but that allows you to keep so much momentum here into the next section. And Zero just going so fast, nice push here to get early gas on that platform, and jumping up into the ceiling and saving all your momentum, good brake push, get more speed up here, and so much speed up here, and can use the entire ceiling, entire wall just to gas. Just beautiful, beautiful run by Zero, keeping his grip. And this pipe entry was so hard, but Zero just full commits straight in, loses no speed basically, and keeps all his speed here for the like loop around that you had to do. Nice push there, and even goes for an extra all brake push. Wheel pressure into this pipe. Ooh, and so low here, almost hits his head, but he's able to compensate and come back. And yeah, full speed into Jupiter, and just going around here, doing some extra pushes for speed. And ooh, very nice. Let's go early here to gas all the way in the ceiling. I never thought about that myself, actually. Coming in here around. And let's see. Comes in here for the swings. Will he do something to just increase his speed here? Yeah, good early push straight in. Can get so much speed out of that swing. And let's see here. Beautiful bounce here on the wall. Just straight in for the 36th apple. And just such a clean and smooth run here by Zero. And again, just clearing these corners low to save all that momentum. You don't need to do the full pipe if you can just clear the corners really low instead. Coming out here for this section. And again, this section was a little bit tricky. You had to timer all the wall perfectly. But Zero just so clean and even gets like a push with speed down into this section here. Comes up for this loop around. Let's see, will he go full speed here? I didn't dare to go full speed in this section. Jumping up here, Zero does. Just comes straight around and like kind of mocking the corner here, looking straight at it, but then last second just vaults away from it. So nicely done here. Coming in for the Saturn rings, and he, of course... Oh, it wasn't faster to stick on that ring. I thought like if you could stick on that ring and stay up, but I guess it wasn't faster. Zero just goes around instead, but does it so fast. Comes in here for the curved sections. And here, if you could save all your speed, you could build up so much momentum, but I barely, like, I didn't even dare to save all that momentum. Zero comes in here with a tiny bit of brake to get into this pipe here. But oh, nice gassing all the way up here in the ceiling with a push. So he just gets so much speed out of that. Nice brake push away as well. Coming in here for the curved sections. And yeah, just such a smooth replay by Zero. And imagine, he's like 6 minutes into his run now and it's just perfection all the way through. Coming up here, not having to go around and doing a hang or anything to swing back up here, just straight in for the 49th apple. Nicely done. Let's see if there was something here you could do. I think his push from the ceiling was the fastest thing to do. Yeah, nice. Jumps up into the ceiling to get a push down here into the Uranus section. And coming up here, let's see, he will go for full speed here, of course. But these corners with full speed were not easy. But he makes it look easy anyway. Comes in here, and again here, his full speed push was actually easier than trying to slow down maybe. Coming in for the other uphill section here. Just, yeah, beautiful, beautiful all around by Zero. And I'm sure like the other top players, Audi, Barry P and everyone else, the replays were probably also like equally fast, but Zero is just... He manages to save, you know, 1 second here, 1 second there, a half a second there. And it just allows him to get 8 something in this level. And again, this spike was really, it's like scary if you went full speed, but Zero dodges this beautifully here. Coming around now, he's already at apple 58. He's almost finishing the level already, 6 minutes in, 7 minutes in. Comes in here for this section, you had to keep your stick. And he's able to do so with a good amount of gassing here. Pushing in for this apple. Sometimes you landed with like some wheel pressure and then was just run over because you couldn't reach that 60th apple. Coming in here for Neptune, so much speed. He does the gap with ease and even can get a little bit of extra speed out there with an auto push. Coming in here, will he go for the middle or the top pipe here in the like multi-pipe section, the one that Rope missed in the end? I think the middle pipe was the fastest style, so let's see. Oh, of course he bounces this part even. This section was so hard with Zero. Like, you not only have to clear the pipe, but you have to clear the pipe in a way that you finish it at the correct angle. So you have to gas so you finish at the correct angle to actually get a wheel pressure here. So you can actually get a bounce. And then the bounce is just straight in. This is just like doing this 7.5 minutes into a run. Just bounce and then getting perfect into this middle pipe. There's just like no words to describe how hard that is to do. Like so far into a run that is actually like leading the fastest run that you've ever had. Coming in here for the Pluto section. And here is just like basically high speed. There's not much you can mess up here. Maybe going for a bounce here, but yeah, no need. It's better to just push. Coming in for Pluto, where I think we have one last surprise waiting for us. If you remember these 90-degree corners that Ropa had to clear like slowly, corner by corner. Zero comes in here, he grabs the apple and he does go for a brutal vault and does make it up here. It's so close with the chin as well. But he does go. Imagine doing this like shortcut, 8 minutes into your fastest run ever. You come up here. If you mess this up, it's run over. you either die or you just miss it, but you push away with the Brutal Vault. He comes up here with gas on the side, counter gas to increase your rotation, and just barely avoids the chin here. So close, and by turning he avoids the head, and he does make it up. And now it's all or nothing. Your heart is pumping, adrenaline is flowing. You come, oh, and it goes full speed here. What the hell? I didn't think that was possible. Everybody else, or like in my team at least, we just went for like, you brake a little bit here, you push down so you can push up on this spike. Zero goes full speed jump here and just so controlled everything. Sorry for rewinding, but I had to see this again. Full speed jump, gassing in the ceiling, lands on top here, and then here he even goes like full speed and just grabs that apple and comes straight down with brake push, loses a little bit of grip, but it's okay. He will come in here for the second last apple of the level, staying high here so you can push down and just grab this apple, nice turn here, and come straight in here for the very last pipe and the very last apple. This is piping at its best. This is Zero at his best, coming in and even lands in the downward slope here to preserve all the momentum, gassing in the ceiling, and comes in for the flower. Incredible, incredible finish by Zero. 853 in a level like this just requires so much concentration, so much skill, and so much dedication. And with it, Zero has even further solidified his lead in this cup. And with just one event to go, there is no one who can beat Zero anymore. Zero has already won the World Cup, even with one event still remaining. And the same goes for Audi. He can't beat Zero, but Finman or anyone else cannot beat Audi either. Audi, with his second place in this event, also secures his second place in the cup overall. But much more can be said for third place. As we have seen, Finman has stopped playing the cup since event 12, but if he plays the 15th event, he still has a chance to keep his third place, but otherwise there are many contenders right behind who would do anything to get into that third place. And the same can be said for the entire top 10. All these placements can shift so much with just one more event remaining. And the last event of the World Cup is a very interesting looking one by Markku. I'll see you there next week. Thanks for watching.